So, hello everyone. So today is 22nd. Sorry, 23rd. Yeah?
Yes.
23rd
Yes.
of September 2020. And today we have Claire,
Yes.
who
Well
is
remembered.
quite practicing meditation for some times.
Yes.
Yeah? So that's why a new interview with her. So can you introduce us a little bit?
Introduce us.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Claire Harper. I've probably met some of you, depending on who's watching now. And I've been meditating since May, June time last year.
Mm-hmm.
So a year and a few months. I'm a medical student in Aberdeen. So I met Ajahn last, I think when I...
Summer.
Yes. The end of last year, actually, because you were away travelling when I first came in September last year, and I met Ajahn Pira and then Ajahn Sujan. And I've been down south for the whole of the lockdown in the summer, and now I'm back up in Aberdeen with my studies again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's nice to actually come and see Ajahn in the flesh. So it's really... I
like the word you called nice to see in the flesh.
Yes, in the flesh, yes.
So how did you come to meditation?
Recommended by a couple of friends.
Oh,
Because I was struggling with all the changes in my life,
mm-hmm.
taking on medicine, following my divorce, and I felt I was really sinking.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a house, and I felt I'd made a big financial wrong decision because the house market, especially up here.
Mm-hmm.
So all these things was going down, and I felt all these things were coming on me. So my friend recommended the Buddhist meditation,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I found a local Buddhist academy down south where my partner lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found you here in Aberdeen when I came back from my second year of studies, by which time I'd done a few months of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it so useful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Did that help you practicing
Yes.
meditation?
Oh, yes, hugely.
Yeah.
Feeling... I still get these feelings of not being able to cope, which I'm sure many people experience,
Mm-hmm.
where your head, it almost feels like a block. You feel like you're tight, and there's a tension in the body and in the mind, and that's the best way I can describe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're blocked, and I'm sure it's because your mind is blocked by trying to do too many things at once,
Mm-hmm.
because the brain can only have one thought at a time, can't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So obviously that's what we're learning when we're learning mindfulness, to have one object. And the mind becomes happy when it's allowed to just be with one thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I find even if I'm walking around the house and I concentrate on the fact I'm walking, you suddenly feel a little smile come on your lips, because you realise you're just in that moment, as opposed to worrying about study or what's to come or what has been. So yeah, immensely helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay, that's glad to know, because someone who has experienced all those difficult time, and then after come to the meditation, it's helping you.
It's helping,
yeah,
yes.
That's quite nice to know.
Yes, it's not a quick fix pill, as everyone knows. That's the thing with it, isn't it? It's sometimes I can feel as bad as I ever did, but at least I have more tools now, things to use, and I can see the thing as not me. I can see that's an emotion or a feeling or a thought or a conditionality of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before I would just be absorbed in it and not know what it was, and then you're looking for external things to make you happy, whether that's a new change of life, new relationship, new...
Yeah.
Whereas now I realise it's all...
Down to yourself.
Yes. Doesn't make it easy though.
So when you join the meditation sessions, was those time where you like... just try and just have a look, or kind of finding a solution?
Probably a solution.
Okay.
I think we all want solutions, don't we, in this world?
Yeah.
But I did a course down south, as I was just saying to you, Ajahn, and it was very helpful, because the monk went through very quickly the fact that this isn't a solution, this is just a gradual retraining of the mind and conditionalities, and we first of all just concentrated like you do in your sessions about just being peaceful and happy, because you can create that in your mind, can't you, as a condition, and then settling down, and realising that even the bad things in life are a blessing. And I'd never really realised that, whether that be divorce or grief or whatever it is that's happening, it can always be a blessing, because it can make you dig deeper, can't it?
Yeah.
Was it the Kilal Gibran thing? Is it when joy is at your joy and sorrow, when one is at your table, the other is asleep in your bed? And I think that's a great analogy. Like darkness and light, isn't it? You often find the more dark you have, suddenly that light will be much brighter.
Yes.
When it does come.
Yes. Right.
It's just the problem is still you have to have the dark times. That's
without the dark times, we do not see the lights.
No. That's the bit that's hard.
Yes, that's the bit one that everyone finds very hard.
Yes.
But that's the fact. That's the truth. That's what people I know sometimes ask me. Why Buddhism is pessimistic.
Yes.
Buddha talk only about suffering, suffering, suffering. Why is that?
Yes.
But if the Buddha taught way too happy, people will not come first. But they have a suffering.
Yes.
And only then they come for the path to be happy.
Yes, I see what you mean. Yes, yes.
So we have to thank you, dukkha, suffering.
Yes.
All the problems, all the disappointments.
Yes. Yes. It's true, because if we block them out, some people do, don't they?
Yeah.
We all do it with certain things we do, whether it's drink or entertainment, but all you're doing is just literally doing that, blocking them out, but they come back, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes, so the best thing is to try and find meditation, and actually you don't block them out, then you actually face them, don't you? You face...
Yeah, and practice, you face them.
The mirror, it's the mirror, isn't it?
It's the mirror. Yeah, you know them.
Yes, and you say, I see you, yes.
Normally we like to block it, saying and thinking that, basically try to ignore.
Yes.
The more we ignore, it's become more and more.
Yes.
And it's become heavier and heavier, like we are having it on our shoulder. It's like a Mount Everest, you are on your shoulder.
Yes.
It's become heavier and heavier, and you do not know how to solve the problem.
No.
But the very moment when you accept, when you accept that I have this problem, then all the doors will begin to open.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So acceptance is important, isn't it?
Acceptance,
and the practice of meditation is to learn to know what is going on and accept that.
Yes, definitely. Acceptance is a big part. And just lightening up as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a huge thing for me and many people. In terms of taking things too seriously, including meditation, you can be very serious, and that's not the way, is it? It's to be lighter, and I found that a lot, and always to laugh at yourself. And that can bring that light in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's something we don't do we? We take it also.
No.
So there's lots to say.
Yeah.
I feel, learn so much, but so much to learn. Still, yes.
So let me know, you told me that initially you weren't a medical student.
No.
You just joined in.
Oh, with meditation you mean?
No, medicine.
Medication. Medication. Yes, I started medicine I'm a third year now, so 2 years ago. And that was following my divorce, because I realised I needed to do something different with my life. I was a musician.
Okay. Musician?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes,
okay.
yeah. Yes, but work was becoming harder to come by anyway, so it seemed like a perfect time. And also I think it's the time in your 40s where divorce or no divorce, people readdress their lives anyway, don't they? Midlife crisis perhaps, or so yes, medicine was something I nearly did when I was 19, so I felt it was...
So back of your mind always this strive to be something about the medicine.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think the meditation will help me hugely. Well, it already has, but in terms of dealing with patients, because most illnesses we're already being taught are holistic. They're not just physical, they're physical and mental. And therefore the meditation and mindfulness is something the NHS use, don't they, anyway, in treatment of depression and other things. So it will be hugely beneficial for me.
Yeah. Now, you just mentioned that you were doing the advanced meditation course.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. So this is when I've been down south again, the Buddhist centre down there. I've been doing an advanced meditation course. And we've been learning about the things that you mention in your talks, Ajahn. Particularly for me, we learned about the meditating on the parts of the body. So rather than a body scan, you think about the actual internal parts of the body, so, as well as external. So hair of the head, hair of the body, as well as the lungs, the heart, the liver, and you try to see them as the body rather than your body. And I think that bit of detachment really helps to see it as a body, and obviously that's something that's impermanent and that will ultimately, that is unsatisfactory, and obviously it will die, it will be no longer. And then we've been doing the 9 stages of the corpse, the rotting corpse, where you think about how the body decomposes. Yes. And it sounds a bit gross at first, but once again, if you approach it with a light, realistic sort of manner, something changes. I think it's been the most useful meditation for me, the body and the corpse, because it helps you to realise that we are going to die. And that's a hugely, incredibly light thing. It sounds a paradox, or I can't think of the word to say that, but it's...
But most of the time people don't want to accept this fact that this is the body, not my body.
Yes.
And this is decomposes when we die.
Yes.
And people have this attachment of this is my body.
Yes.
And as a result of that, they don't want to accept the death.
No, which creates more suffering, pain.
Yeah.
Or accept illness as well, or pain within the body. I think if we can see it as not ours, I get flashes of it. Of course, it's not all the time. I mean, that hopefully will get more as I progress. But to get the flashes of being detached and free, that it is a body, you feel lighter and more alive, ironically. So yes, we've done that, and then we did the different conditionalities of the mind. So it's because it's the 4 factors of mindfulness, isn't it? The meditation on the body, mind, feelings, and consciousness. Is it
consciousness? The mind and consciousness, and then the last one is
phenomena. Yes.
Yeah.
So thinking of the different conditions of the mind, whether it's lustful, angry, or happy, or...
Can you elaborate a little bit on this?
On the mind.
Of mind?
There are...
Because this is the time, we were talking about the mindfulness.
Yes.
And then I've been talking about the contemplation in the mind. So today is on that topic.
Oh, okay. So yes. And are there 21 different... I can't remember how many.
16.
16, okay.
Yeah. 16 types of
mind.
Not a mind, contemplating in 16 types of different types of the minds. That arises.
So do you mean like the lustful mind versus the... Yeah,
not lustful.
Non-lustful, so non-desirous.
Hate and not hate.
Yes.
And not delusion and not delusion, contracted and distracted.
Distracted, yes,
Like that.
What else is there?
There's contemplated, concentrated and unconcentrated.
Yes. Superior and inferior.
And surpassed and unsurpassed.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So it's 2 sides.
Yes. Right? And to recognise when that condition arises, and to recognise the conditions that are around that, and then when it disappears, what's the cause of that, isn't it, as well? And to recognise when it doesn't exist or does exist, so you become more skillful in negotiating, and also then how to prevent certain, or to become aware when perhaps a certain state of mind is going to occur, so you can nip it in the bud, as it were, or catch it before it has a chance to catch you. Is that right way of sort of...
Yeah, you have to know before it catches you.
Yes, because once it does...
Yeah, so it's a non-reactive response, or a non-reactive awareness of the mind, whenever these states of the mind is there, ability to be mindful of that and no reaction to it. And because normally, whenever there is a negative or unwholesome mind generates and distracted in that moment, we normally want to push it away. And then want to get something better, something nicer. Rather than doing this and actively engaging to refuse it, we're just responding as disease. Because the very moment when we actively trying to resist, we are having trouble. We are creating this negative mind. So like that. So can you tell a little bit on your experience of practicing
of the mind? Actually, I have to admit, it's the one I don't do too much, if I'm honest. I tend to go for the body because I know how helpful it's been, but the mind, I'm not very good at knowing. Although I think I am, to be fair, in everyday life. I'm very much aware of the negative states of the mind, but I should really get more into actually naming them to myself, whether it's desirous, lustful, angry. But generally I see the negativity it brings. Even you're always looking at what you haven't perhaps achieved rather than what you have. That's a good example, that kind of thing.
There is a story at the time of the Buddha. Buddha was talking with one of the monks. His name was Upawana. And he said, what is the visible teachings that you are talking about? And everybody says that Buddha's teachings is visible. Visible. And what is that visible teachings? And then the Buddha said, okay, so when you see a form, at that time you have a desire in your mind. And that desire that you have in your mind, is it visible in this moment, in the present moment? It is visible. So knowing that mind, that I am having this desire to have this form. So state of the mind. Knowing. Same thing, Buddha again repeated all the 6 senses. That ear hears the sound. As soon as you hear the sound, the mind generates the desire to have it more or to resist it. And the mind knows that is visible here and now. You don't have to think, do I listen it or do I heard it? You already heard that. So knowing that state of the mind is visible here and now. Same with the smell. You're not thinking of I'm going to have this smell or that smell. Whatever you smell that time, you get that. And that's in the present moment. So the mind is at that moment with the object. Knowing that. So basically, the Buddha said, the visible teachings here is to understand your mental state, that you know these things happening in your mind. Every time when you see, every time you hear, every time you smell, every time you taste, and even just for thinking, it's visible. It's happening here. And that is the state of the mind. And we have to know.
And they're the sense doors, they call them, don't they? Internal and external. So external is when you see, and the internal is when it then becomes internalized. And you actually then becomes, as you say, a desire then.
So the internalized identifying and recognizing, that generates the desire. And that desire imprints in our mind. And we have to know that imprinted mind, that this is happening to me. And this is, if we can practice every day, every walks of life, we will be happy. But we are not happy because we want to have more, we desire more, this and that, this one and that one.
I know.
So practice is to know that mind, isn't it?
So, like, I've often heard people say as well that you can't rate a meditation as good or bad as long as you are just noticing. It's even just noticing that what you think is bad is not, but it's just noticing your own conditionality state. or state. So therefore, it's not a bad meditation, is it?
There is no bad and good meditation.
No. It is as it is.
It is.
I'm learning.
Because at the very moment when we say bad, we already have conceptual understanding of what it is.
Yes.
And when we say bad, again, same thing. We are expecting something out of it.
Yes.
We're preconceived.
Yes, I often feel like that, yeah. You think if I do meditation for half an hour, then I will feel better. And that's the wrong...
You're already conditioned.
Yes.
And if what if you cannot? Who to blame? Meditation? Yes. Meditation, you didn't give me a good... Is that right? So, it is not good and bad.
No.
It's all about learning to know ourselves, our state of the mind. But again, in order to know this state of the mind, we have to go through the body, feeling, and the mind. Without body, we cannot feel.
Yes.
Without a feeling, we cannot see the object, the mind. So that's why in the Satipatthana, first we have to work with the body. Just to get used to with this body. And all the things that we used to or know this body through the feelings.
Yes.
You cannot feel the body without feeling. You cannot observe your body without feeling. And when you look at the feeling closely, then you see, this is my mind.
Yes. So you're saying when you feel a certain way about the body, is that what you mean? So if you're observing...
When you close your eyes, how do you know your body?
Oh, you're feeling. Yes. Of course, Yes.
You can't see at the back. How do you know your back?
Feeling, and perhaps also preconditions. You're aware of how it looks.
That's
as
not true. If you precondition, that's not true reality.
No.
It's not visible.
No, so it's just feeling. Yes.
So feeling makes you understand your physicality.
Yes.
That's why there is a saying, this body doesn't feel.
Right. But the mind does, obviously.
Yes. Do you think body feels?
No, because even from medicine I know that the nerves, the messages go to the... But then the brain isn't the mind, is it? That's another discussion, isn't it? But
this body doesn't feel. If this body feels, when we die, the crops, they should feel too. Why they don't feel it?
Yes. The crops?
The body after someone died.
Yes.
Yeah?
I see what you're saying. No, I see what you mean. Yeah, the body won't feel. No.
So, we feel this body through the feelings.
Yes, from the mind.
From the mind.
And the mind and the brain are two different things, aren't they, as I say?
And this mind, again, arises through the condition of feeling.
Yes.
Or condition of the mental state.
Yes.
And that is what we have to know.
Yes,
realize,
because without...
not just know, realizing it.
Yes.
And that's why we practice.
Yes, we practice to... If you reach Nibbana, then the mind is no longer, is it? Because if there's no feeling, then the mind is
when there is no
free.
condition to arise, then where is it?
Yeah.
It's like the wind. I normally take the example of a wind.
Yes.
Do you see the wind?
No, but only when it blows a tree. Yes.
So like that. Okay. So this is time's up. Thank you for being our guest.
A pleasure.
And I hope that our members, those who are listening, enjoy our discussion, informal talk.
Yes. Very good.
So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. And in a few moments' time, we will have chanting and guided meditation. You are most welcome to join with us. So until then, thank you and good night. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
For your wonderful
Thank you, Asha.
input. Thank you.